Hey, 5th grade, ready for your art lesson with your friendly neighborhood art teacher? So, your expedition has been the changes keep coming. Some of your guiding questions: how can a change maker make what is a change maker and how can we create societal change? How have athletes contributed to social change by breaking barriers in their sport? How can I affect change on the present? And how has Amanda prepared me to be the change in the future? Your learning targets today is: I can draw my name large enough to fill the page. I can create multiple patterns for an interesting variety in my artwork, and I can color my whole artwork. You'll need paper, lined paper or printing paper is fine, pencil and eraser, and coloring supplies. Crayons, color pencils, or markers, anything works. Remember, you actually want to be drawing really big for this one. So, I was looking around for more pop art stuff, and I found inspiration from that one on the bottom that says Carly. It is still pop art. It's got lots of bold colors. It's got lots of lines to it, and it still has the comic book quality. But I also wanted to show you the example of the one where it says Aaron, so you can see a difference in some designs. The one on the bottom, Carly, is done by a much younger student, so I'm expecting a little higher quality from my 5th graders on how they work on their designs. Doesn't have to be as in detailed as the one on Aaron, but I think we can probably do something a little bit more complicated than dots and stripes. The other part of this is that you are going to create, or you're going to have a comic book exclamation cloud with it. So these are some really great examples of what I'm talking about. You can pick one, you can see they're actually on there a couple of times, and you can be drawing, or you can be using one of those for yours. I'll show you the example of my name. So, what you're going to be doing, excuse me. So what you're going to do today is you're going to be working on making your name large. If your name is really long, you may do a shortened version of it, or you can do your middle name, or you can do your initials if you'd like. I'm going to, for my second example, I'll do my initials. But you want to make sure that your name is big. So, since I already did my example, I already did my last name, and my first name and my initials are both 3 letters, I'm just going to go ahead and do my initials. So I'll go with a big and then I'm going to put the period. And then last. So I know some people are probably looking at that and going, how can I draw bubble letters? I've never drawn bubble letters before, and it's okay. Let me show you another way to work on this. First, write the regular large letters that you want to write. It's pretty easy. You should be able to write it without having a problem. The next thing I do is I come back through and I make an extra line around, and then also on the inside, and then for the inside of my A, and then erase that line that was on the inside. So I'll do that again. Here's the regular V. Now I'm going to come back. I want to make a top. I'm going to make one line outside of the V, another line outside of the V, and then up, and again outside, and then I will erase. And then I'm down to my last one. So I'm going to make an another line outside, come down, keep going, And now I've gone back, erase the middle letters, or lines. If you're doing your initials, you can add the period if you want. I'm not going to make you. So, once you've got your letters drawn large, one of the next steps that you should look through is, and you have to give me a moment to, nope. I want you to look at what kind of background can you do to it. Do you want to do one that has both a cloud and an explosion? Do you want to do something that's all pointy? Do you want something that's not as pointy? Last time I did one that had pointy and the bumps behind it, but I think I'm going to switch that one around, and I'm going to make one that is I'm going to get confused and figure out what it is that I'm doing. Ah, that's the one I was going to look at. I was going to do the little explosion, the actual, like, mushroom cloud looking one behind it. It goes. And I'm going to run out a little bit of space, so I'm going to put that one. But it still has the explosion. Cloud behind it. And when I am working on the patterns, first I'm going to start by working on my I'm not going to do the whole thing, I just want to do one side so you can see it. So I'll work on, you don't want the background cartoon thing, bubble, to have a lot of patterns. In fact, you don't want it to have any patterns. It would be easier if you kept it solid colors. You do want your letters to have some colors. So I'm going to pick something that's not blue because I just did some blues, and I'll go through for the A, and I'm going to make sure that I'm doing the same pattern . Oop, see? Not paying attention, I messed my own. So that's the first one that I would do. Then, again, because I know I've got a lot of blue behind me, I'll pick maybe a different color to work on the V. And I can come up with different kinds of some patterns. So let's say that maybe this time I'm going to do some dots, but I'm going to connect each one. Nope. So what you want to do is you want to keep going across, coming up with different kinds of your patterns until you get to the end, and then I would take something a little bit different, maybe a crayon or a color pencil. So I've colored in my yellow, then I can color in the blue, and don't forget you'll be doing behind it too, which is why I picked different colors. And then the last part, if you have a black crayon marker, then the last thing you can do is go over your letters at any part of your design that you also want to make stand out some more. So you will have done a pop art letter patterns for your names. This is just a simple project for the people who are still who are either done with the other projects. I do want you to get finished with the portrait before you get done, or before you start the pop art landscape or the pop art word. Oh no. Your task today is to write your name in large bubble or block letters, create a different pattern for each letter, and then pick one kind of comic book art sound effect to go behind your name and color. Alright, next week you're going to be working on a 2-part portrait picture, but it's a little bit different than what we did before, so don't worry. I'll see you next time, 5th grade.